welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Angelica and I'm going to be doing the Disney College Program Spring 2019 from April to August. So in this video, we're going to get out of the Disney bubble for a little bit, and I'm going to be talking about my experience watching Hamilton in Puerto Rico. I have loved Hamilton for the last 3 years, almost 4 years, since it came to Broadway. And I listened to the album nonstop. And when Lin-Manuel announced that they were going to bring Hamilton to Puerto Rico, I got so excited because of that reason. Like exactly when he announced it, my mom texted me, my cousin texted me, I got the notification from Facebook, and everybody was texting me like, did you see this? And yeah. And especially when Lin-Manuel said that he was going to reprise his role as Alexander Hamilton here in Puerto Rico, it was an incredible, exciting feeling. So yeah. So he announced that he was bringing Hamilton here to Puerto Rico in November of 2017 to January of 2019, which was the one which already passed. And when I saw the dates, I texted my mom saying, I already have my birthday present when I turn 21 years old because my birthday is January 15th. I waited and waited for 2018 to pass by and I was frequently checking Lane's Twitter, his dad's Twitter, to see when the ticket sales were gonna go out. And they haven't announced it yet. And my patience was running low. And that was when Luis Miranda, Lynn's dad, tweeted that in November the tickets were gonna go on sale for everybody, people on the island, for things like that. So on Saturday, it was on a Saturday, so that day I woke up at like 7 a.m. because the tickets were gonna go on sale at 8 a.m. but to get into the digital line. And I waited and waited and waited and waited. And I never got to the front of the line. So I didn't get tickets. And we knew that there was going to be a lottery for Puerto Rican residents only, but a lot of people wanted to see this show, and there was no guarantee that I was actually going to see the show. That's why at least I was going to buy a ticket for me, or my mom was going to gift me the ticket for me, even if I had to see it alone. But it didn't happen. I cried a lot. That day. It was weird because in that exact same week, I got my DCP acceptance. And it was like a whirlwind of emotions in that week, because on Monday, I got the incredible news that I got accepted for the Disney College Program. And then on Saturday, I couldn't see the show that I was loving for 3 years, with the creator starring in it again. Also, at that point, I believe they have already announced the cast, and Donald Weber Jr. was gonna be is in it. Julia Herringman was gonna be in it. Sabrina Sloan. I've been following them for so long because I don't only follow the Broadway cast, I follow the Chicago cast, the Angelica Tour cast, the Philip Tour cast. I love them all. So then January came along, and they were preparing the theater for the show. They were preparing for the show to open, and the lottery opened. I prayed that I would win that lottery, or somebody, because my mom was entering the lottery, my brother was entering the lottery, my aunt, my mom's co-worker was entering the lottery, and she got her son's phone, her mom's phone, and her husband's phone, so that they can enter the lottery also. And all of that was so that I could see the musical, because they know how much I've loved it for so long. And it broke my heart every time that everybody got it's only a matter of time, because that's the notification they send you because you didn't win the lottery. And then January 12th, 2019 came around. That day, I was watching videos on my phone in my room, just minding my business, and my brother came running. I kid you not, running to my room, screaming, "Angelica!" And he just showed me his phone. And the notification said, "You are a winner." And I'm getting emotional just saying this, but my brother won the lottery. And that just meant that we were gonna say Hamilton. And I'm sorry, I'm crying. And this exact same thing happened. I cried. My mom cried. My dog was like so crazy because she just saw this rage of this wave of emotions come to us. And my brother was just jumping up and down because he was so excited because that happened. And we immediately bought the 2 tickets and we were gonna go see Hamilton the next day. Like what? That is something like, to this day, it has been more than a month since I've seen this show, and to this day I still can't believe that I can say that I saw Hamilton in Puerto Rico with Lin-Manuel as Alexander Hamilton. So January 13th came along. I was so excited that day. We won tickets to the second show, which was the 7 p.m. show. But we had to be at the theater from 3 to 4 hours before to pick up our tickets. And when my brother woke up, he got an email from the people who were managing the lottery tickets. My heart sank because it said that they had oversold the lottery tickets. So when we would have gone to the theater, they weren't gonna have any tickets for us. And my heart sank because I had felt that this dream was taken away from me. But then I read the second paragraph, and it literally said, "We don't want you to throw away your shot, and we want you to be in the room where it happens." So they just said to us, "Give us 3 dates, and we'll tell you, and we'll save you 2 tickets for one of those dates." And it was incredible. Like, they could have just gave us our money back, but they didn't. They reserved 2 tickets for us, and we immediately got back to them, and they transferred our tickets for January 17th, 2019, which was 2 days after my birthday. So even a better birthday present. So January 17th arrived, and I didn't have class that day. And so my mom picked me up, we picked up my brother, and we went to the theater because we had to be there 3 to 4 hours before to pick up the tickets. I was scared because the lottery was only open for Puerto Rican residents. So at the ticket box, we had to show an ID with a Puerto Rican address in it. And my brother didn't have it. Yeah. So I was scared that they weren't gonna give us the tickets because of that. My mom and my brother went to pick up the tickets. I stayed behind because I didn't want to receive the bad news if they were gonna give us bad news. But they give us the tickets. They did give us the tickets, and I was happy. That was when I finally saw that, like, I captured that. I am going to see Hamilton tonight. I'm going to see this. And the 3 hours that I had to wait to go see the show were the longest 3 hours in my life. But then the theater opened, and we got to see the iconic set. And I just kept repeating, I cannot believe this is happening. No lo puedo creer, no lo puedo creer. And that the lights went down, and the king talks to give us the announcement that the show is going to start, and the lights went down. The first note was played. And I kid you not, tears formed in my eyes, because in that moment is when I like, it snapped in my head that this was actually happening. It didn't happen when my brother won the lottery. It didn't happen when I had the actual tickets in my hand. It happened when Donald Webber sang those first words. That is when I said, this is actually happening. I had to grab my brother because the emotions was so real. And then Lin-Manuel came out. An uproar of applause and screams and shouts happened when he came out. I didn't hear when he first said Alexander Hamilton. I didn't hear it one bit. The applause went down. The applause calmed down, and the show kept on going. I was scanning every single inch of that stage because it was overwhelming what was happening. I saw every single ensemble member. I was watching. If you know, the set has 2 floors. The main part where the turning tables are, and the upstairs part. I was watching during certain songs who was in the upstairs. Like in my shot, the Schuyler sisters are in the 2nd floor of the set while my shot is happening. I controlled myself. I did not sing along to not ruin the experience for anybody. And I'm going to talk about every single cast member, the main parts, especially the main parts. So Donald Webber. Like, I know that those who hear the soundtrack are so used to Leslie Odom Jr. being the Aaron Burr that we know and love. And I loved Donald Webber's take on Aaron Burr. He projected Aaron Burr in such a way that is indescribable. I'm sorry. But the way he did Wait for It, when the world was white enough, that scene, the way he produced Burr's anger, sadness, confusion, every single emotion that Burr is feeling during that moment that he shot Hamilton. Spoiler alert. Like, I was already crying because of Hamilton's death. I was already crying when George Washington left. But his take on when he saw that he shot Hamilton. More tears. And yeah. The Schuyler sisters. Those 3 women are just incredible. Okay. Julia. She was Eliza. That woman has a voice and is so versatile when she sings Helpless, and how happy she is projecting Eliza, how hopeful, how in love she is with Hamilton, and her anger and burn, her heartbreak. And when she sings Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, that girl I cry a lot. I cried a lot during watching this. So obviously I cried when Eliza came out in Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story. Because I think this happens to everybody, because you figure out some scenes in your head while you're listening to the soundtrack. But when you see the actual show and see what actually happens when that song is happening. So in Satisfied, that was the moment that my mind blew because of the rewind part. That part is so, I think it's so iconic in that show, because they literally do the choreography they just did, but backwards. It's like you literally press rewind in a movie, and they do all of that. And Sabrina has an incredible voice. Her interpretation of Angelica is in another world. And Darylyn Castillo, I loved her Mariah. Her voice, I'm just gonna say this with everybody, her voice is incredible. Her interpretation of both characters, Peggy and Mariah, two very different characters, are just incredible, and I'm lost for words at the moment. I'm so sorry, but yeah. With Lafayette Jefferson was Simon Longnight, and I loved his Jefferson. When he came out for What Did I Miss, he was just pumping up the crowd all throughout. That also happened in the first cabinet battle. And his interpretation of Jefferson and Lafayette. But I really loved his Jefferson. And he brings a different interpretation of what I've thought of Jefferson, of what I'm used to with Daveed Diggs. And yeah. But Brandon Louis Armstrong, I'm just gonna say he was my favorite. He was my brother's favorite part of the whole night. His Hercules Mulligan and his Madison was my brother's favorite part of the whole night, because he was so funny, so engaging, and saying that is something. So yeah. Ruben Carvajal. He made me cry 2 times during the night. And spoiler alert, if you want to mute this part, mute it if you don't want to know. But a song that is not part of the soundtrack is Lauren's Death. And boy, I cried so much. And in Philip's death, you can only imagine. Isaiah Johnson, that man has a voice. Like, he hit a note in One Last Time at the end that was so breathtaking. The only thing I could do was clap. That was the only thing I could do, because, and his way of interpreting Washington as like the father figure of Hamilton was so different in a way. I'm sorry if I'm not giving like a whole lot of explanation, because I'm speechless. I was speechless throughout all of this. And yeah, I loved Isaiah. And when Washington went away, I just, he made me cry. And of course, our king, the first Puerto Rican king, was Rick Negron. He was funny. I really loved his voice. The way he acted in the Reynolds pamphlet was the most incredible thing ever. And when he first came out for You'll Be Back, everybody loved him from the first second he came out. And I'm just proud that there's a Puerto Rican king now. And he's right now in San Francisco with everybody else. And yeah. That is all. Hi guys. So, I'm currently editing this video. Yeah. Right there. And I just noticed that I talked about every single one of those cast members except for the best one of all, Lin-Manuel. So, Lin-Manuel. We kind of know how he interprets Hamilton because of the cast album, but in Puerto Rico, I feel like it's a different experience because he feels so proud of bringing the show to the island. And you could see it in the way that he performed the role of Alexander Hamilton. Like, you could see how proud he was to bring this show to the island. The way he portrays Hamilton as a hopeful individual in the first act, and all of the struggles he goes through in the second act is I'm lost for words. The most shocking part, other than the world was wide enough, was when he sang Hurricane. You could feel the emotion he had singing that song in Puerto Rico after what happened here a year ago with Hurricane Maria. And you could feel how emotional he was, and yeah, he él es un caso aparte, como que wow. So yeah, sorry that I have to add it like this. Low lighting, no makeup, lighting from my computer, but yeah. I was very overwhelmed while seeing the show because, again, I have loved this show for the last 3 years, and finally seeing it was so incredible and so fulfilling in a way. After the show, everybody was crying. The applause went up again. The same applause that came out when Lin came out for the first time. It all happened once again. And Lin did the famous thing he did with all of the shows. He took out a Puerto Rican flag and waved it all around. And the final bows happened and the show ended. But it doesn't end there. I went to the stage door. And I met 2 of the ensemble members, and they signed my little booklet. I met Morgan Wood. I met Brandon Chan, I'm sorry. And I met Angelica and Eliza, Julia and Sabrina. All of them were such incredible people. They interacted with every single person who was at the stage door, and yeah, that was my night. It was an incredible night. It's a night that I'm gonna remember for a lot because that show is just incredible. So that night is going to be one that I'm going to remember for a long time, and it was an incredible birthday week. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked this little video that's outside of the Disney bubble. Don't worry, Disney videos are coming back next time I post a video. And if you want to see videos during my college program and all of the Disney videos I'm going to be posting before that, please make sure and subscribe down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching once again. Hope you have a great night, day, whenever you're watching this video. And yeah, bye.